Two bills filed in the state of Kansas are looking to offer their residents in that state protection from the government gun confiscation. Red flag law. Yeah, stick by and watch this one. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. It's Monday morning grind, and it's an ice storm. Lots of coffee today. And that's a good thing, because the Monday morning grind is brought to you every week by Blackout Coffee. Check out their link below. Supporting them supports us, this channel, and you get fantastic coffee. Don't forget mine, the 2A and the 1776 blends. Grab some. Thank you so much for your support lately. It's been overwhelming, and I'm kind of still licking my wounds from the most unorthodox live stream I've ever done with Mr. Phil Van Cleve from the Virginia Citizen Defense League. If you haven't seen that, I'll have a link floating above my head. I'll also have one in the description. Check that out. He tells what's going on in Virginia, talks about their lobby day, and some more stuff. So check out that live stream. It's not a long one. It was only about a half an hour. But a lot of good information there. And also the most difficult interview I've ever done because technology. So, yeah. So on to today's news. Two bills have been filed in Kansas, and I'll have a link to both of them, one House version, one Senate version. And these bills are being called the Anti-Red Flag Act, and they look to offer Kansas residents a shield, I love that, a shield from illegal, unconstitutional government gun confiscation, otherwise known as the Extreme Risk Protection Order or the Red Flag Law. Now these bills, in the House, it's HB 2425 in the Kansas House, link down below, and the Senate version is SB 245. And they both would ban any court order, quote, for which the primary purpose is to reduce the risk of firearm-related death or injury, end quote, by stopping individuals from owning or having a firearm. Now these bills also look to bar any state law enforcement official from filing red flag orders or following any federally issued red flag order. Now, it should be mentioned that Kansas does not have a red flag law, nor does the federal government, but they are sure trying like hell to implement one in a multitude of ways. For more information, I'll have a list right there, a playlist of my red flag videos. If you haven't seen that, you're going to want to check that out. Gives you about 200,000% education on the red flag law and the states that are pushing it through or already have pushed it through, and what the federal bills are as well. Now, Kansas Senator Richard Hildebrand said this, and I quote, "The goal is to make sure that we guarantee Kansans' Sixth Amendment right, which is due process. That is the sole purpose of this." End quote. And that is fantastic because the red flag, amongst other things, violate due process. One of the things I've just boggles my mind as I do the research on all these bills and movements and stuff like that across the country is that on one hand you have states, cities, counties, etc. that are moving as fast as they can to declare themselves a Second Amendment sanctuary. And then on the other hand, you have cities, towns, and states that are moving as fast as they can to enact red flag laws to violate people's rights and take away their Second Amendment without due process. Now, currently 17 other states have a red flag law. I'll run through them real quick. California, Colorado, Delaware, D.C., the Washington, D.C. area. Hawaii, theirs is effective January 1st, so next week of 2020. Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Nevada also takes effect next week, January 1st, 2020. New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Washington. And also don't forget about Florida, Vermont, and Rhode Island. They also have one too. Now, both of these bills have been pre-filed, which means there's no action taken right now. They will be for the next legislative session, which in Kansas starts January 13th of 2020. Now, if you live in Kansas, I'm going to have links in the description of the two gentlemen who have sponsored these bills. In the Kansas House, the representative's name, and I don't want to screw these names up, is Michael Hauser, H-O-U-S-E-R, or Hauser. I'll have links down below how you can get a hold of him and say thank you for protecting the Second Amendment rights and due process of those residents, those citizens in Kansas. And on the Senate side, it's Richard Hildebrand, who I had quoted earlier. So once again, a little bit of good news. For Kansas, this is great news. And the rest of the country, we're quite envious. I wish I had some representatives that had the gonads that your state does. But here in Massachusetts, they're gonad-less. However, good for you. Please pass along this news if you know somebody in Kansas or if you live in Kansas. I think everybody wants to get on the ball, and you're going to want to get on your representatives and your senators to vote on these bills and to pass them into law, because you deserve to have your rights protected. That is what their job is, to uphold and protect the Constitution, and you can do that by getting on them and letting them know that you want them to pass these 2 bills. All right, everybody, that's it for Monday. We have an ice storm going on here in Massachusetts, so I'm going to hunker down and try to get more work done here on the channel. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon, and thank you so much for your support. Please like and subscribe, and until we see each other again, have a great one.